Do you feel nervous about your US visa interview? Don't worry, I've got you covered because in this video, I'm going to be sharing everything that you need to know to pass your US visa interview on your very first try. Hi everyone, my name is Okoli Cyril, and in this video, we're going to be sharing with you everything that you need to know to pass your US visa interview on your very first try. But first, let's understand the purpose of US visa interview. Okay, so the visa interview is the final steps to your application process. In this visa interview, the consular or the officer wants to verify your documents, ask you some questions about your trip, and make sure that you meet the requirements for the visa. But their main concern is to make sure that you are going to return home after your visit in the United States. Many people do not return when they enter into the United States. So they want to make sure that you have maybe a business or a family, or maybe if you're married, you have children, something that will make you want to come back when you travel over there into the United States. So they call it ties. They want to make sure there's something that will make you come back home when you go to the United States. That's their main concern. All right, here are three kinds of visa that most people apply for. We have the B1, B2 visa. This is the tourist or visiting visa. We have the student visa. This is the F1 visa. We have the work visa. This is called the H1B visa. Now, I'll be talking about all of them in general on how to prepare for your US visa interview. In my next video, I'm going to be talking about the student visa specifically for the big day. There are three key steps that you need to follow. All right, number one, research about your visa. For example, if you are applying for student visa, know about your school, know the location, know why did you choose the school. They're going to ask you, why did you choose this school? Why not this? Why not that? They're going to ask you. And know the program that you are applying for. If you're applying for nursing program, if you're applying for any other program, know about it. Go online, do research about the school, know the time for their classes, know the time for everything that they do in the school, because the more prepared you are, the more confident you will be when you are answering these questions. Now, about the funding, you have to know who is they are going to ask you who is going to be sponsoring your education. Is it your family member? Is it your brother? Is it your father? You have to know all these things. You have to be ready to give them answers, and you need to have documents of everything you are going to be answering, because you're going to be rendering a document to confirm that whatever you are answering is true. For example, if they ask you who is funding your travel, if you are going for visiting, for example, you need the bank statement of whoever that is sponsoring your travel. If you are sponsoring it yourself, you need to have your bank statement with you. If your brother in the United States, if your family, your sister, your wife is sponsoring you, ask them to give you a bank statement, because you need it on the day of your interview. All these are very important. Now, for those that will be going for visiting or tourism, whichever one, there are things you need to know. You need to know the location of wherever you're going to be staying, where you plan to stay when you go to the United States. They're going to ask you who is sponsoring your visa. They are going to ask you. And while you are answering, you should be able to give them a bank statement of whoever that is sponsoring the visa. Now, you need to know the address of where you are going to be staying. Are you going to be staying in a hotel? By now, you should have booked a hotel. You should be able to tell them, oh, this is the particular hotel I'm staying. This is that. If you're going to be staying with your friend or your family member, you should know where they live. You should know the address. You should know what they do for a living, because they are going to ask you. If you're going to visit your family members, you should know what they do for a living. If you're going to see your brother, oh, what do your brother do in the United States? Oh, he's a nurse in the United States. Oh, he's in the military. in the United States, you should know things about them. Now, another thing is you should know the purpose. This should even be the first thing that they will ask you. Why are you going to the United States? By then, you should know, oh, I'm going to study. Oh, I'm going to visit my family member. Oh, I'm going to visit my wife. If you have an event that you are supposed to attend, oh, I'm going to visit my family member in the United States. We have an event on so day. We have a wedding to attend. We have explain to them, speak politely and honestly. Do not lie, because they can see everything in your document. Before you went for interview, you filled a DS-160 form. You wrote everything there. So if you are giving them a different answer, that's an automatic failure. Okay? Now, you should know how long you plan to stay. Now, a lot of people that have been denied, some of them, not all of them, some of them, when they ask them, how long are you going to be staying in the United States? You see people saying, oh, I want to stay for 6 months. I want to stay for 1 month. I want to stay for 2 months. No. They don't want you to stay in their country for that long. Even though they are going to give you a 2 years visa, they expect you to go, come back, go and come back. Okay? Now, tell them you're going to be staying for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Don't stay more than 1 month. You might not get the visa, okay? Because they don't want you to stay that long. You have to go and come back, So, 2 weeks, I'm going to be staying in the United States. And after 2 weeks, I'm going to be coming back. Simple. And they want to know if you have a strong reason to return. Now, you need to have a family. I'm not saying that because of the visa, you should go and get married so that you have a strong ties. No. But these are the things that they are checking to see if you are going to return back. They want to check if you have a business that is running here in your country, thing that will make them believe that you are going to return back to your home country. Of course, you will actually return, right? Or I don't believe you're planning to run away from your country. So you need to have a strong ties. Like if you have a family, okay? If you have a wife, your children, if you have a business that is running, something that will make you come back, something that will make them believe that you are actually going to come back to your home country and that you're not running away from your country. Because a lot of people, when they travel over there, they don't want to come back. They're just there. And some people causing trouble over there, So they don't want that. They want people that will go and come back, okay? So you need to have a strong ties. All right, the next step. This step is so important. Organize your documents. Organize your documents. Have a file like this. It must not be like this, but have a file. Put your documents inside, arranged. Don't come with a paper just like that. You're not allowed to come into the interview room with your bag. You're not allowed to come with your phone. You are only allowed to come in with your file. And this file should have only the documents that you need during that interview. And, documents like your passport. And now your passport must be valid for at least 6 months beyond your intended stay. You also need 4 photograph passports. You can go online and search the size of passports for US interview. You will see it. 4, you need it because you're going to be doing a screening before your interview and they will ask you for your passport. Okay? You need your international passport. Okay? You need your DS-160 application confirmation. Okay? You need your appointment confirmation, your appointment letter. You need financial documents. Now, when they ask you who is going to be sponsoring your travel, you need a bank statement of whoever that is sponsoring it. If you're the one, you need your bank statement. If your brother or your sister or your wife or husband abroad is going to be sponsoring, you have to ask them to send bank statement. You need invitation letter from your relatives that are inviting you over. This is for those that are visiting. Now you need your admission letter for students. If you're going to the US to study, you need admission letter from the school that you applied for. You need supporting documents, like I said, admission letter for students, employment letter for workers. If you're going to work in the US, you need employment letter, because you need to show that, oh, this company has given me the job, so I'm here to do my interview and get my visa and go and work for so company. Okay, and now we are in the step 3. Step 3, practice your answers. Practice your answers. Before your interview date, you should know the answers of some questions, and here are the questions that you really need to know before your interview date. Questions like, what is the purpose of your visit in the United States? Now, make sure your answer is straight to the point. Do not answer what they did not ask you. If they ask you, what is the purpose of your visit to the United States? Oh, I'm going to the United States to visit my brother. I'm going to the United States to attend a wedding of my relative. I'm going to the United States to visit my wife. Because the more you talk, the more questions will be coming to you. So make your answers straight to the point, okay? All right, let's do a recap before we move forward. Let's do a recap of the 3 keys that I mentioned earlier. The first one is know about your visa. Do research. If you're a student, if you're applying for student visa, go online, the school website, do your research, know the time for their program, know everything about the program that you are applying for, okay? The second step is organizing your documents. Make sure your documents is organized. Make sure you are ready to give any documents that they ask you, be it your international passport, DS-160, bank statement. If you're going for a wedding, you should have the photocopy of the invitation letter or the original invitation letter. You know, any document that will confirm whatever answers that you are giving to them. That's it. Organize your documents. And then the last, practice your answers. Practice your answers. The more prepared you are, the more confident you will be when you are answering these questions. And don't forget, they will ask you, what is the purpose of your visit? They will ask you, who is funding your trip? They will ask you, do you have family or property, ties in your home country that will make you want to come back to your home country? Practice your questions. Okay? Now, let's move to the day of the interview. Okay? Now, let's talk about the day of your interview. The first thing you need to take note of is your dressing. Your dressing is going to help make a great first impression. Now, you don't want to overdress. For the guys, don't cut your hair a day before your interview. We are trying as much as possible not to overdo, not to try to want to impress, but we want to look good. We want to give a first impression. Dress clean, well-fitted and modest clothes, okay? You don't need to put the tie. You don't need a tie. You can wear your suit and like a white shirt, and sometimes the color of the shirt matters, okay? White is okay. White, something that is not too bright, and something, don't do a color riot, white, black suit. You don't need a tie, have a nice haircut. For the men, don't cut your hair a day before the interview. It's always better if you can cut your hair 5 days before your interview, 4 days before your interview. In that way, all the carvings is not that sharp, but your hair is still neat. Do you understand? Make sure your beards, everything is neat, okay? And for the ladies, dress modest, clean, well fitted, okay? No too much jewelries, no too much makeup, because they want to look at your international passport and look at your face. So if you put something and they can't recognize you, you're on your own. So make sure you are modest, you are clean, and well fitted clothes. Okay? All right, the next thing we're going to talk about is your time of arrival. It is very important that you arrive early, at least 30 minutes before your time of interview. On the day of my interview was 6:30 in the morning. I was there by 5:30, so it's like 1 hour earlier. So it gave me enough time to sit down and calm my nerves and, go through the document to see if there's any other thing that needs to be done. Make sure you're ready. Practice questions. If you're Christian, you have the time to pray. If you're Muslim, you have the time to pray. It's very important to arrive early, at least 30 minutes before the time of your interview. This gives you the time to relax and calm your nerves before and, get settled before the time of your interview, okay? After the interview, let's talk about what happens after the interview. Two things will happen. It's either you are approved or you are denied. If you are approved, they will take your passport from you and they will tell you when to come back to get your passport, okay? They will take it from you so that your passport can be stamped. But if you were denied, which I do not pray for anybody to be denied their visa, because it's not a good feeling, okay? If you were denied, they will tell you immediately, but do not lose hope. Politely ask them, in which area should I improve? Okay? So that you will know why they rejected your visa. Don't just leave, because if you leave and you don't know why they rejected your visa, how do you plan to amend it? How do you plan to, make it right the next try? Okay? So you want to ask them you want to find out what areas you need to improve, okay? Know why your visa was rejected. But I pray that after watching this video, if you follow every steps that I've given to you, I promise you, you will pass your visa interview. Okay? Okay, that's it for the preparation. You see, preparation and confidence is the best tools for you for acing your US visa interview. Okay? If you find this video helpful, please don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, like the video, because by liking it, you're helping it to reach a greater number of people, okay? And share it with whoever you think that's going to benefit from it, okay? Now, if you need help with your US visa, Canada visa, UK visa, please drop a comment on the comment section and we're going to reply you and we will work together to make your process a stress-free one, okay? Thank you for watching.